Who are you supposed to be? Well, I'm you, of course. What, me? How is that even possible? Well, I'm you before you were even you. I'm the original you. The original me? Yeah. Huh. You look like Donald Duck. What?
Hey, and welcome to the 10th episode of Creed's Modern Mondays. My name's Creed, and today we're taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Mer-Man from the Lords of Power Wave. This is a brand new figure who just came out. I only got my pre-order in about 6 days ago, and I figured we might as well take a look at a very current figure for once on Modern Mondays. This is the second release of Mer-Man in the Masters of the Universe Origins line, but the Lords of Power line focuses on the original look of a character, be it the mini comic or even original sketches. Included in the package, you of course have Mer-Man, you get a mini comic, and his sword is right behind him. Here on the back of the card at the top, there is some tremendous art of Mer-Man battling Teela. And I just wanted to mention that right here behind Mer-Man, you see this octopus, and that's pretty important. But yeah, this artwork of them battling is pretty epic because it reminds me so much of the mini comics, which of course is what this version of Mer-Man is based off of. Below the artwork, you can see some of the other figures in the line, but I actually want to come back to the octopus behind Mer-Man. There's some information there about Mer-Man. If you'd like to read it, you can pause now, but take a good look at this octopus. It's taken directly from the 1982 mini-comic, The Vengeance of Skeletor. As you can see, there it is right there, battling He-Man. And basically what happens in the comic is Mer-Man captures He-Man and throws him in the water, and then he has to fight the octopus. Or whatever it is. I mean, it kind of looks like an octopus, right? But this issue is also the inspiration for this Mer-Man figure. As you can see, there he is right there. He's pretty much identical, except his skin is a little more bluish here. But we're wasting time, so let's go ahead and cut this guy open and get him out of the package and take a look. And there he is, the Lords of Power Mer-Man. This is a version of Mer-Man that I've kind of been waiting for all my life. And I'm not trying to throw shade at the original Mer-Man. I love that figure. But when I was a kid, I always wondered why he didn't look how he looked in the comic. So it's really cool to have a version inspired by it after all these years. I'm happy to see Mattel embracing these alternate takes on the characters and releasing them in the Origins line. And now I can use these figures to represent the mini comics in my Masters of the Universe collection. Alright, let's take a closer look at this guy. So right off the bat, you'll notice that he has a pretty cool head sculpt, even though his eyes are super happy. But I did notice a slight flaw in the figure. If you look here at his teeth, you'll notice he's already got paint wear. He really shouldn't have paint wear out of the box, and I know I can fix it pretty easily, but I shouldn't have to. But it is just a minor complaint. I'm still really happy with this guy. The armor sculpt is a lot more hardcore with the spikes here going up around the collar and then coming down the side, but it does have a similar pattern here on the front. So basically, it's kind of like they took the original armor and just added a lot of spikes and extra flair to it. His belt buckle is pretty similar, except for these awesome tendrils hanging down, and then he also has the fins built into his gloves this time. I'm surprised they didn't make the two yellows match, but it's really not a big deal. I just figured they would. Mer-Man has the typical open hand and weapon-bearing hand of most Masters figures, and as we come down to his legs, you can see the sculpt is nice with the boots looking awesome and the traditional spiked toes of the villain characters. On the back of the figure, you can see the clasps that hold it on, plus the fact that the collar comes all the way around on this version. That's pretty sweet. And I noticed that his bikini bottom here is a separate piece. Generally, this was painted on before, so I'm surprised they went the extra mile and did it like that. Now it's time to take a look at Mer-Man's articulation. Here at the ankle, they have the standard ankle rocker you'd expect from most modern figures. The foot can also point down and up, of course. Here at the calf, he can swivel, which is pretty nice. Knee can bend almost 90 degrees, not quite. And then here at the hip, he does have a ball joint, which allows for a broad range of motion. Here at the waist, he has the swivel, but no spring load like the original. And then the shoulders can go out. They can swivel around. Here at the elbow, you have a 90-degree bend, and then at the wrist, of course, a swivel, and then they can kind of flex in and out. Now here at the neck, Merman has a ball joint, so he can look down and up and all around. And that's it. That covers all 16 points of articulation for Merman. Now we're going to take a look at Merman's accessories, like his sword here, which in the comic had the ability to shoot ice. What I really like about it is that it looks like it's made out of bone and coral, especially if you look at the handle here. That especially looks like bone to me. And of course, it fits in Merman's hand perfectly, and I love how this weapon looks in his hand. Also included with Merman is this mini comic titled Sucker Punch. It stars Fisto, and Merman only makes a cameo on the last page. But I have to say, I'm really excited that they decided to include the mini comics with the new figures. Even though they're much shorter, I think it's a great idea, and supplemental material like this always got me really excited about the line as a kid. So, great job including this, Mattel. Alright, let's do some size comparisons. Here we have the Masters of the Universe Origins Lords of Power Mer-Man next to the OG Merman. The OG is definitely scarier. And here he is next to the original He-Man. I just had to throw him in here. If you watch my vintage show, you understand. And here he is next to Origins Prince Adam. And because all the parts between these figures are interchangeable, you can do weird stuff like Prince Adam cosplaying as Merman. Do you love this, or is it weird? You tell me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this week's Modern Monday on the Masters of the Universe Origins Mer-Man from the Lords of Power Wave, released in 2021 by Mattel. As I stated in the intro, I'm never going to throw any shade at the original Merman figure, as it is an amazing classic and I love having it in my collection. But as a kid, seriously, I did wonder why he looked so different than how he looked in the comics. So getting this figure after all these years is pretty sweet, and it obviously doesn't replace my original in any way. It's just another piece of my collection and a way for me to represent the mini comics when I finally get my toy room and all my toys set up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, bear in mind I do this generally 2 times a week. I have a vintage toy show, KREED'S Collection. That's on Wednesdays, and of course that's where I look at a vintage toy. And on Mondays, we have KREED'S Modern Mondays, and that's where we take a look at something sometimes brand new, like today, and sometimes it's come out maybe in the last 2 years. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, actually do leave a comment, please. I really like reading comments. I like responding to comments. So, yeah, if you don't mind, take a second, type me a little message. Be like, hey, Creed, what's up? How you doing? I left you a like. You're pretty awesome. Or I hate you. Whatever you're thinking, just let me know. And if you're still here, hey, guess what? I got videos right here for you to watch. There's a very convenient subscribe button for you to push right there. And I'll see you this Wednesday and next Monday.